Dear community members, Shabbat Shalom. In this week's Parsha, we read about building the Mishkan, and that is right after we received the Torah in the previous two Parshiot, Yitro and Mishpatim. The Midrash accounts for this juxtaposition, and the Midrash says that Kadosh Baruch Hu came to Am Yisrael and told them, I have a daughter, a beloved daughter. That's my Torah. The Torah is like my precious daughter. And I gave it to you, and I don't want to depart from the Torah. So I don't want to take away the Torah back to myself. I wanted to leave it with Am Yisrael. It's the biggest present I gave to Am Yisrael. But on the other hand, I don't want to be away from that precious daughter. So please build me a place that I could be with you and my Torah. We see how the Torah connects us with Hashem, how it's the DNA of us and Hashem. And that's what links us together. Rabbi Eliezer Melamed Shlita has tremendous zchuyot in this generation in giving the Torah to Am Yisrael, participating in giving it. It influenced so much homes in Israel. Children learning from his children edition, adults learning in the editions in Hebrew and in English, halacha l'maisa, explaining the depth of halacha, the background, and tachlis halacha l'maisa. Unfortunately, he was attacked, which is very embarrassing during this week. And I wish here to support, and in this parsha that we read about, as I explained, the Torah as the connection of us to Hashem, to really give tribute to him. And the biggest tribute is that we'll learn now a short halacha that he writes in Pninei Halacha that is so relevant to us. Last week, there was a hafsakat chashmal. There was no electricity in many, many homes when Shabbat entered. Rabbi Melamed explains in his book, Pninei Halacha, in his masterpiece, he explains that, first of all, the electricity company is allowed in most places, almost all places, to fix such a thing. Let's say in remote. Why? Because there's always a suffix, many times even more than a suffix, but there's always at least a suffix, a doubt, that there is a chola, there's a sick person there, that for pikuach nefesh, he or she needs electricity. Therefore, they're obligated and allowed during Shabbos to fix the problem. Now, once this was fixed, then all of us can enjoy the food and the water that is now being warmed up after it chilled down. Now, I was asked by many people last Shabbos, Rabbi, after all, the power went off, and now the blech, the plata, and the urn of the water, it all cooled down. It's all freezing now. Now when it's going to turn on again and warm up, are we allowed to eat it? Are we allowed to benefit from the fact that it was warmed up by the plata or by the urn? And the answer is yes, says Rav Melamed. Since the electricity was fixed, the heter, it was fixed in order for pikuach nefesh, then we can all drink the hot water and we can all eat the hot and the warm food. So here we see again the relevance of the book. Rabbi Melamed explains it clearly with the sources, and I'm giving him the blessing that he will continue with his Avas Yisrael that he's attacked for now, and with his great teachings of Torah and Halacha. And I encourage all of you to continue to learn from his books and to continue to benefit from his Torah and being inspired by him. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.